So Kanye West has made a lot of news this weekend. And the latest is last night. He went to dinner at Giorgio Baldi, a very popular restaurant. Jay-Z was there, Beyonce was there, Dustin Hoffman was there. He wasn't at their table. He brought Milo Yiannopoulos, a famous alt-right winger, and made a lot of anti-Semitic comments. And
who in the past has made anti-Semitic,
right.
not as he walked into the restaurant.
And somebody else joined them for dinner.
Which is really interesting. After they showed up, moments later, Ray J showed up and joined them for dinner. And what's really puzzling is why now, as we've been chronicling here, I mean, Kanye West has become sort of persona non grata in a lot of circles because of the things he said, of the bigoted things he said, the anti-Semitic things he said.
And by the way, and the Thanksgiving dinner he had at Donald Trump's place with Nick Fuentes, who is just like a bigot beyond words and white supremacist. And Ray J showed up for this dinner. We are trying to figure out why. Now, look, there is history here. Ray J is enraged with the Kardashians, enraged over the sex tape. And we have reported this, talked about it.
And if he was talking to Kanye about that, or he was talking to Kanye about music, you'd get it. But the fact that Milo Yiannopoulos is there at the table makes it seem like this was not about music or about
even if that was the plan, given what Kanye has done over the last 4 or 5 days, it is puzzling and frankly a little bit shocking that Ray J showed up. And we tried to find out, and so far radio silence has come back. We have no idea because his people have not gotten back to us. But it's a little bit shocking, I gotta say.
I think we might be overthinking this a little bit. I mean, Ray J, and this is not shade on him at all, is a person who follows fame wherever it might take him. And again, it's no shade. He's made a very successful career out of this. I think when somebody like Ray J gets invited to a dinner by somebody of the stature of Kanye West, despite the controversies, I'm not saying that Ray J didn't think about it and maybe wonder if it was the right thing to do, but he didn't want to turn this opportunity down to have dinner with one of the biggest faces in the world.
Jason, to your point, he did. Remember, last month we saw him show up in Nashville with Kanye and Candace Owens. And at that point, that was right on the heels of the White Lives Matter shirts. So there was already plenty of heat around Kanye, and obviously around Candace Owens. And Ray J chose to show up. So maybe we are, Jason, you're right. Maybe we're overthinking it. It's either just because it's clout chasing, or maybe his political views align with it.
I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that at all. I get that he is into fame, but if you followed anything that's gone on since Thanksgiving,
sure,
with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes and all of the things that have happened, I don't care. I mean, at a point,
devil's advocate.
You don't draw a line?
Devil's advocate. Could Ray J, and like you said, we have reached out to his camp.
You don't think he knew?
Back. No. Not that he didn't know. Is it possible for Ray J to go to dinner and say, I went because I want to talk to Kanye about X, Y, and Z. I'm not involved in any of that other stuff that he's dealing with politics.
Ray J is one of the most.
Said about
Ray J is so savvy when it comes to media. And he knows Giorgio Baldi is one of 5 restaurants in L.A. where there are paparazzi.
Right. Of course he knows there are going to be paparazzi.
And he's going to know the association. So I think he didn't care.
I think if he's going to do that, he's got to. Where's the statement this morning stating that?
Right.
I mean, he's allowing this to breathe for a long period of time. And I think, you know, although I do think he was doing it as a clout chaser or whatever, there is the issue that Kanye has suffered an enormous financial and popularity hit based on his recent activity. Ray J can't withstand that kind of hit, right? He's not the star that Kanye is, and I wonder if his career is stable enough to withstand this kind of association with Kanye. And let's not even forget, I mean, Kanye is dismissed by some as being a little bit crazy or whatever. Nobody dismisses Milo Yiannopoulos as anything but
Nick Fuentes, right?
Or Nick Fuentes as being anything but hardcore right-wing sort of hate mongers. to be at dinner with them, that's even more shocking to me.
I would love to know what Beyonce and Jay-Z were thinking, because they weren't at the table with him.
Right.
But it's not that big. It's not that big a restaurant.
Right.
And you just got to imagine with all that went on. Can we just talk about that for a minute? That, you know, Donald Trump is saying, I didn't know who Nick Fuentes is, which is hard for me to believe. But take Nick Fuentes out of the equation. Having dinner with Kanye West, who was on an anti-Semitic rant for weeks and weeks and weeks. You know, I get that Donald Trump is looking for anybody who...
But what Trump said, his words were that he was reaching out to help Ye.
Because he's a psychologist?
Maybe he felt like inviting him was somehow going to, you know, have Kanye disavow the anti-Semitic things he said. I don't know, but that's what Trump is saying.
I'm not buying it. Are you buying that?
No, of course not.
I mean, it's absurd. And, you know, the idea that, that Kanye West shows up at Mar-a-Lago and says, yeah, I'm going to bring a couple of buddies along. And they say, oh, yeah, come in. They have Secret Service there.
Right.
They vet people. I mean, you got to understand. Former presidents have a big security detail. If you've ever seen Obama over the last 4 or 5 years, you've seen this huge security surrounding
it. Seems weird that even Ye could just show up at Trump's house and be like, oh, I'm bringing some people.
You can't do that.
Who have not been vetted.
You can't do that. You just can't do that. So the idea that, you know, playing, oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry, it's impossible to buy.
Hi, my name is Monique, and I'm calling in from Baltimore. I just feel like it's just 3 clout chasers, attention seeking at dinner, just to make the headlines, because they know that everybody's going to go crazy and talk about it. I don't think it's too deep, though.
Yeah, but crazy in a bad way. I mean, I understand the concept that any publicity is good publicity. There's a line there. You know,
well, and
there is a line there.
Kanye was shown that line. Cost him, by his count, $2 billion. So there is definitely a line, and anybody else who's associating him would have to be worried about that line also, I would think.
The only thing you can say in his defense, though, is he's got a mental illness, and we don't know how much of that equation is front and center with all of this.
Right.
But it seems like it's gotten worse. I mean, it seems like he's just off the rails. And, you know, for other people to, you know, to kind of co-sign on that, to me is just bizarre. I'm really shocked at this Ray J thing.